Hi everyone, it's Catherine here from Inky Finger Cat. I'm actually going to make something a bit different today. So, ages ago, I cut up a piece of pattern paper, Stampin' Up pattern paper. I think it was Venetian Romance. Could be wrong, but I think that's what it was. I did end up making a couple of cards from it, but not at the time. So I cut it up with the intention of doing a one-sheet wonder. And then for whatever reason didn't end up doing it. I've just realised I've got really bad glare on my... There we go, that's better. They're called glasses, Catherine. Yes, they're called glasses. I don't know what's wrong with my brain today. Anyway, the intention was a one-sheet wonder. Then the project got put to one side for whatever reason. I think it was back in November. May have even been October. Something like that. It's now what? End of January? Anyway, it got put to one side, never got finished. At the beginning of January, just before I started going back to work, I refound it when I tidied the craft room and I made a couple of cards from it. So there is a video somewhere in my feed that's got those on. Anyway, then never did anything else with it, put it to one side. Refound it again. So I thought, right, I'm going to use some of this piece of paper, but do something a bit different. So I'm going to use some of the piece of paper on a junk journal page. So I'm not doing a very good junk journal. I'm just really doing an art journal and calling it a junk journal. But, sorry, it will all make sense what I'm doing. Okay, this is my box of junk journal bits. And there's all sorts of stuff in here that I've been gifted, papers, etc. And I've just been shoving things in here thinking I'll use that in my journal. And I've got a challenge with a group and all the rest of it to make one. Turns out I'm not a junk journal person. Art journaling, yes. Various pieces I can do, absolutely fine. Not really junk journaling. So what I've ended up doing is having some sheets that are pre-cut that are 7x5. Some of which I've already started to decorate, some of which are still empty. And I've just started using those and doing journaling, but using the bits from the junk journal box. That's the plan. So I thought I would incorporate some of these into it. And we'll see where we go. I'm actually contemplating maybe using the grey and the yellow side more than the coastal cabana side. That's my thought. So I thought I'd stick the video on. You can see what I make and we'll see where I go. Who knows what it'll end up being. Enjoy. Okay, apologies if it's a bit wobbly, that's just resettled. So as you can see, there's all sorts in here. Tags, in fact, quite like that tag. Various pieces of paper that I started to emboss, might use some of that. Various stamped images that people have given me over the years, or I've stamped for various reasons. There were some envelopes in the stash that I was given, some photographs, etc. I did some jelly printing, which is actually what's on here is me having done some jelly printing onto some paper. Might use that, might not. Bits of ribbon, twine, etc. Might use some of that actually, maybe. Various book prints. So I'm just going to grab a few bits and pieces out of here. I mean, I don't see how I'm going to use that in this. Don't think I will. But you never know. That. Too big. Don't think I'm going to use a unicorn today. Okay. Well, you never know. It might come back to the box. Apologies again for wobbling it. It's not the most stable. But these are the bits we're going to use, and then we're going to try and incorporate some of this paper into it. can get the project done. So I'm thinking maybe if we put some over there. Yeah, I think we can do something here. Right, I'm probably going to pop you into fast forward or pop some music on, just because I don't know what I'm doing. I'll probably not be able to talk at the same time as think. That's generally how things work in my life. I can't talk and think at the same time. So I'll stick you into fast forward. Well, it might not be quite fast forward. It might be just slightly sped up. You never know. Might do it all in full speed. You never know. Okay, so I've got two. Got this, but I'm not entirely sure I want to use it now. So that can go back in the box for another time. Still thinking I want to use the word feel somewhere, but not entirely sure where. And I'm now thinking I need a different focal image, so I'm going to have a little hunt around in the stamps and see what we can find that goes with. I think that looks lovely. I'm also thinking I want to do some stitching, which means I need to get my sewing machine out, which means I need to move the camera. Decisions. Okay, so done a little bit of sewing, just on top bit there, and then I've done a single line down there just because I felt like it. And you know what, that was quite fun, and it's ages since I've had the sewing machine out. Right, I'm thinking I might now choose what elements I want for my focal image. think I'm finished. Obviously I needed the glossy accents to dry. But I'm super happy with that. So it's far from the focal image in terms of the background paper, but I've used a couple of pieces of that pattern paper that is left over project. So what have I used? The Venetian Romance paper. There's some book print that's got a bit of either a jelly print or wipe off paint on it, so it's already got some kind of texture to it, and that's been stuck to the cardstock, so it's quite a thick piece. I did bring in my distressed crayons just to bring in that tealy colour, peacock feathers, which is one of my favourite distress colours. There was a jelly print onto some book print that I stamped the Jar of Flowers roses onto. Obviously the Jar of Flowers jar, which again, I used a book print that I've been sent, quite a thick piece of book print. So perfect. I did try to watercolour it with a watercolour pencil, but my water for my paint pot is really filthy, so it's sort of gone a weird purpley colour, but it's absolutely fine. I used lots of inks and the distressed blending sponge in order to ink those up, but again, bits of book print, etc. This was a piece of cardstock that I'd started embossing the edges and then ended up giving up, but I gutted it. Bit of washi tape, did some sewing. I did stamp the flowers just along the edges, just to add a little bit of a focal interest on the edges. I've realised I'm not sure how much you can see on the screen because I'm not looking at the screen, I'm looking at my picture. My journal page that I've made. I'm wondering whether it needs a little bit of doodling on. Just a little bit. But I'm not quite sure, so I'm going to leave that. Maybe something that I add to on another day. I'm also feeling like it needs more words, but I'm not sure what, so I'm not going to add that either today. Oh, I've just spotted something. I keep forgetting about this stamp. So in the Jar of Flower set, there's like this chevron stamp, and I'm thinking that would be really nice, maybe in Just Jade, just again to add a little bit of interest to some of these corners. It's not going to add a massive amount, but it's going to add something. Bit down there, bit across there, just a little bit there. Like, yeah, that's just added a bit of something. Don't know that it needed it, but I spotted it, wanted to use it. There you go. That's how art journaling works. Spot it, want to use it, use it. It's pretty much how I do it anyway. There is definitely no rules to art journaling at all. You just do what you want and have a play and enjoy yourself. They're the rules. Stick the stamps back on. I do feel like it needs a little bit of doodling. Okay, I am now counting that as done. All I've done is done a little outline around the edge, which you can probably barely see on the camera, but I know it's there and that's what's important. So I'm going to set this aside to dry because I need the glossy accents to dry and they can take a little while and don't want to smudge it. But I'm going to count that as done for today. As you can see, I've still got quite a bit of this paper because I didn't use a huge amount of it in that project. So that will be for another day, I think. For now, I think I'm done. So if you enjoyed that, please do give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, subscribe to see more. I am really making an effort this year to try and get some more projects up and videoed and onto YouTube so that you can enjoy them. And hopefully it can spark your imagination too. Drop me a comment below, let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Until next time, bye.